Thanks for tuning in. I'm Andy Shulman. This is the Generation Report. Rather than recording this from my makeshift studio at home, I'm recording this from Moultonboro, New Hampshire, about a half an acre piece of property on the waterfront of Lake Winnipesaukee, and this has been my family's summer home for 72 years. As I record this, the house has been sold and is about to go into the possession of the new buyer. It goes without saying that there are passages and passings in everyone's life and in everyone's family. For me and for my family, this is about as big as it gets. I'm well aware that it's very easy to take a personal or family story and extrapolate it to being symbolic of something else. But in this case, I really do think the story of this place is a kind of microcosm for how America has changed. In the years just after World War II, the shorelines of the lakes in central New Hampshire had mostly not been changed by expanding residential development yet. On a tip, my grandparents came here in the summer of 1952 to rent this property, and through sheer dumb luck, they got a chance to rent for extra time and then buy when the owner decided to sell. My grandfather was a World War II veteran and an accountant for an electric company. My grandmother was a librarian, and together, they bought this house for $11,000. It doesn't break any new ground to point out that the 1950s and 60s were a far different time than today. But I'm more aware now than I ever was when I was younger that the America in which my grandparents bought this house, where ordinary people who came from no place special could have a family, rising expectations, and a summer home in one of the most beautiful spots in the country, is probably gone forever. Among the many reasons I believe this is because for more than 10 years, I've watched as the situation in my own extended family has been personal and ugly in a way that has had remarkable parallels to the situation in the country as a whole. The political disagreements that marked the post-war period obviously should never be minimized, but now the fault lines of political disagreement and the fault lines which bear resemblance to political disagreement are everywhere and in everything. Irreconcilable differences are almost never reconciled constructively and peacefully when moral superiority becomes the thing people set out to maintain and protect at any cost. This is true in families, this is true in countries. And this is something that I have become convinced Neil Howe doesn't see. I'm often reminded of the scene in The Sopranos when Tony tells his therapist, "It's good to be in something from the ground floor." I came too late for that, I know. But lately, I've been thinking that I came in at the end, that the best is over. Yet, despite my well-worn tendency to dwell on thoughts like that, I've found that being reminded that we're all part of a continuum seems to place the big picture in its proper perspective. Every day I spent here at this place my family and all our friends affectionately called the Lake was a blessing I'll be thankful for the rest of my life. So with sincere hopes for a future filled with days like the ones I had here, I'll close with a verse from Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference.